This whole time since season 1, we thought this is just the beginning. No, the beginning has already happened. Hello, everyone. This is KnightStar Arts, and we're here to discuss more Attack on Titan. It's been a while since I've done a video related to Attack on Titan. Guys, everything has already been set in stone, if we're speaking theoretically. The story of Attack on Titan, the true story, already happened when season 1 came out. By now, we all know for Attack on Titan, most of the plot has been Titans being a threat to humanity, and humanity trying to find a way to liberate the world from the fear and wrath of Titans. Only when Season 3 revealed that the story is much more complex, Titans were only a temporary dangerous force to be reckoned with. The true antagonists were none other than people. Let's be honest, the biggest foreshadowing of humans being the main enemies of Attack on Titan occurred when in Season 1, Episode 15, Commander Erwin asked Eren who he believed the real enemy to be. Back then, some thought Erwin was trying to get a good old date with Chris Henson and the FBI, some thought he was being weird, and some thought he was onto something. Erwin, that brilliant devil, was already aware of things before anybody else could figure it out. Well,
it's all part of Erwin's fail-safe plan.
Attack on Titan is a long, ongoing story, going back 2,000 years ago when everything started with Ymir and the First King. Out of respect for anime only, I will not include anything that has not been shown any anime yet from the manga. Anyway, let's continue. Everything being stated is from what you've seen from the anime, not the manga. While Season 2 picked up on it before Season 3, we saw a glimpse of Marley through Ymir's point of view of how she became the Jaws Titan. Now, back in Season 1, we didn't know much about Marley, but we had suspicions Annie was working with other people. And I'm not talking about Reiner and Bertolt. We all know they were traitors too back then. I mean, look at their hairstyles, it's pretty obvious. I'm talking about Ferber. Remember when Annie remembered her promise to her father about coming home? That's what I'm talking about. Since Season 1, we had to rely on the series to continue because one thing about Attack on Titan is it's definitely a mystery-based story. It takes a lot of reading, analyzing to understand the plot more easily. It took us by surprise. It took us 3 seasons to finally understand the core plot of this dark horror mystery world. The core plot of Attack on Titan, once again, as I said, is humanity fighting another fraction of humanity. Or how about this, the protagonist versus the world, or the world versus the protagonist. Everyone knows Attack on Titan is a gray world surviving in a dark place. What makes Attack on Titan great is how the characters try to survive in it. Everyone in the series has had their own perspective of survival, but survival of the fittest versus morality clashes in a hard-on brawl among the people. Everyone in the world is trying to be free of the rule of Titans. The protagonist and the antagonist, or vice versa, as the video states, Attack on Titan is about the conclusion of a century-long story and how it all comes to an end. Now let's talk exactly for most of the video. I've been talking about the character, protagonist, antagonist, Titans. Let's explain how Attack on Titan has shown itself as a conclusion tale. First off, I have to borrow the Middle-earth film series for a sec. Everyone knows about the Hobbit trilogy, covers the beginning of a whole Sauron situation, but it explained how the One Ring came into place and how Bilbo Baggins came into possession. The Hobbit trilogy was none other than an origin story. The Lord of the Rings, however, was a trilogy that continued after that origin story and concluded the story about Sauron and the One Ring. The Lord of the Rings already had its history and its story and its plot already set in stone, and that is the same thing with Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is not an origin story, but a story that concludes itself. Everything in the past has already happened. We're just seeing the future of things, which is why since Season 3, the future has been playing more of a role with things. Now let's start with the first time point of obvious evidence of Attack on Titan being an Endgame story. The first time point is when Grisha is seen crying, telling his son the basement is the key to everything. We all know the basement has been one of the main keys in Attack on Titan, as it explained the truth of the Attack on Titan universe. Grisha Yeager was one of the few people inside the walls that was knowledgeable about life outside the walls, besides the Rice noble family. The second time point of evidence is Season 3 with the Rice family. In Season 3, we figured out that the Rice family knew the truth behind the world of Attack on Titan and kept it hidden from the public and the military for quite some time. Rod Reese explained to his daughter his story about how the founding Titan was used to create the three walls we know and establish the walled society we know of. Another detail that is very interesting is when Uri was talking about Kenny and about how the world will fall one day. Maybe another detail about Attack on Titan being an endgame story, but let's bring up the last ultimate detail that tells how Attack on Titan is an endgame story. Aaron Kruger. No one else better than Aaron Kruger explained the state of Attack on Titan world better than the first Attack Titan before Grisha. Attack on Titan is none other than a deep war game between humans, and God knows when the conflict will ever end. But one thing for sure is Attack on Titan is definitely continuing the story that already began. When Aaron's mom was eaten when the walls were invaded, that's not when Attack on Titan began. Attack on Titan began before that. Just didn't know it. If I'm being scientific and theoretical, although the story of Attack on Titan began 2,000 years ago, the name of the show, Attack on Titan, the true attack on Titans, began in the first season. I mean, Titans were already being attacked before then, but then the ultimate counterattack began with Eren. Eren, Mikasa, and Armin's lives were changed forever the day when Walmara fell. Everybody knows that, and the characters, they have transformed. Everything has changed. The tone, the theme of the story has changed. Everything was changed. Eren's rage, Mikasa's love, and Armin's hope is what helped humanity within the walls launch a counterattack that changed the rest of the story. A story that needs to be concluded. And next year in Season 4 Part 2, we will see the conclusion of a story that we have fallen in love with since 2013. Attack on Titan is not about the beginning, and it's not about the middle. It's about more like the ending of a story that's already occurred, and we will finally see the conclusion of it, as I've said earlier, around the end of Season 4, Part 2.